Hello everyone, I am Nikhil Jain from Electronics and Communication Department. Today we are going to discuss about signal descriptions of 8086 microprocessors. Today we will discuss about those signals which are common for both minimum as well as maximum mode. As we have already discussed about the modes of 8086 microprocessor, minimum mode and maximum mode, there are two modes. In this slide and in this lecture, we will discuss about those signals which are common for both the modes, which are minimum mode as well as maximum mode. First one is AD15 to AD0. AD15 to AD0, what is AD here? We already discussed about that. AD is multiplexed address and data bus, which ranges from A0 to A15. It is for address bus, and D0 to D15 it is data lines. These are the time multiplexed memory input output address and data lines. Here, address remains on the lines during T1 state, while the data is available on the data bus during T2 to T4 clock cycle. These lines are active high and float to a try state during interrupt acknowledge and local bus hold acknowledge cycles. Next is A19 to A16 and S6 to A3, that is A19, A18, A17, A16 and S6, S5, S4, S3. These are the time multiplexed address and status lines. During T1, these are the most significant address lines for memory operations, and during input output operations, these lines are low. The status of the interrupt flag enable flag bit is updated at the beginning of each clock cycle. S4 and S3 combinedly indicate which segment register is presently being used for memory access, and this is depicted in the tabular form in the next slide. These lines float to try-state off during the local bus hold acknowledge. The status line S6 is always low. The address bit are separated from the status bit using latches, and these are controlled by ALE signal. ALE is a address latch enable. This is the tabular form of S4 and S3 status flag. When these are 00, it indicates there is alternate data. When 01, it indicates stake operation. At the time of 10, it is code data, and 11 at the time of 11, there is no indication. Next is BHE bar oblique S7. BHE is bus high enable. It is an active low signal, and it is used to indicate the transfer of data over the high order data bus. High order is from D15 to D8, and lower order, as we know, D0 to D7. It goes low for the data transfer over D15 to D8 and is used to derive chip selects of odd memory address bank or peripherals. BHE is low during T1 for read, write, and interrupt acknowledge cycles. Whenever a byte is to be transferred on higher byte of data bus, the status information is available during T2, T3, and T4. It is BHE data transfer table. When it is 00, it indicates whole word. 01, upper byte from or to even address. 10, lower byte from or to even address. 11, no indication. Next signal is read bar. Bar indicates, as we know, it is also an active low signal. When it is on low, it indicates the peripheral that the microprocessor is performing memory or input output read operation. and this signal also remain twice stated during the hold acknowledge. Next signal which is common in both the modes is ready. This is the acknowledgement from the slow device or memory that they have completed the data transfer. Since we know that the microprocessor is giving its services to different peripherals, and these some of these peripherals are fast and some are slow. So this ready signal is helps in completing that particular in servicing providing service to these peripherals. When slow device completes its task, then this there is the acknowledgement signal from that slow device or memory that they have completed the data transfer. The signal made available by the devices is synchronized by the 8284A clock generator to provide ready input to the 8086, and this signal is an active high signal. Next is INTR. INTR represents interrupt request. Interrupt, we all have studied about the interrupts. The concept of interrupts in 8085. Concept is same. INTR is a triggered input. This is sampled during the last clock cycles of each instruction to determine the availability of the request. If any interrupt request is pending, the processor enters the interrupt acknowledge cycle. This can be internally masked by resulting the interrupt enable flag. This signal is active high and internally synchronized. Next common signal is test bar. This input is examined by a wait instruction. If the test pin goes low, execution will continue, else the processor remains in an ideal state. The input is synchronized internally during each clock cycle on leading edge of the clock. Next is CLK. CLK is clock input. The clock input provides the basic timing for processor operation and bus control activity. It's an asymmetric square wave with 33% duty cycle. Last is MNMX bar. The logic level at this pin decides whether the processor is to operate in either minimum mode or the maximum mode. That's these are the signals which have been discussed here, and these all the signals are common in both the modes, minimum mode and maximum mode. In next lecture we will discuss about those signals which are particularly used for minimum mode, and then those signals which are particularly used for maximum mode. Till then, take care. Bye bye.